You know, there's a lot of great OU podcasts, but there's only one where the horns are always down. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Horns Down Podcast.
What's up, everybody? Another episode of the Horns Down Podcast. This is a live reaction to OU versus Arkansas State. Excuse me. Y'all see who I'm with. Y'all know who I'm with. Jay, what's up, man? Go ahead and tell everybody where they can find you at, how they can find you, all of that.
What's good, everybody? You know me, your boy Jay, Unfair Sports. Come on and holler at us. We decided to go live here on the Horns Down Podcast. We about to talk about this game. My goodness, everything. Boy, we diving into it. That's my bad. We're late. We're late by like 35 minutes because of me. So my bad. But hey, it don't matter because we here now.
All right. So no, we good. We good. So like he said, like, subscribe, do all of that to all the content so we can keep pumping this out. So with that being said, let's start with OU because I know a lot of people in the chat are talking about what's going on at DKR right now. 40 points a game and they looking too good. But anyways, let's go ahead and talk about this. So pros and cons of the game. Let's start with the cons first, okay? So defensively, I'm going to go there first. So defensively for me, it was simply just some of the things I saw us get beat at a lot last year, which were just recognition to the, those routes where they're sitting down, the curl routes, the hitch routes, different things like that. Got to be better about that. Saw one or two busts, but we were able to make up for it. One of them was simply just the fact that Kanik, in my opinion, couldn't make that play while he was backpedaling. Defensive line, I thought they were stout. I thought run was great. Still want to see us in the backfield a lot more, but I like what I saw from like Trace Ford. Ethan Downs looked more active today. Offensively, I would say pretty much the only thing that I can really
Let's stick with defense first. Let's stay with defense first. Let's segment it out.
Go ahead.
Defense first. So defense first. So I saw a lot of chatter around on the defensive side that people were concerned about the turnover, concerned about sacks, right? We didn't get very many sacks to start the game. One thing to definitely not be concerned about with that is that offense at Arkansas State runs a really quick pass setup. Yeah. And what I saw out of this defense is they did very good with contain. They kept him where they wanted him to be, and they forced him to throw passes they didn't want to. Also, we saw a lot of wide receivers out there making business decisions. Yeah. They weren't making catches across the middle. You could see the nerves in their eyes, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, we're causing havoc," and that's exactly what we wanted. The defense looked like I wanted them to. We did luck out because it should have been 6 points. Their kicker, of course, choked it out, but he had that lemon booty the entire time he was going up to kick it. But we didn't have to worry about it. We ended up with the shutout that I knew that we needed. 73-0 is huge for that defense.
Oh, it's huge, man. I mean, I thought they played it. I thought they played about as consistent as possible. 4-man rush. I was glad I didn't see any of the 3-3-5 stuff, but I didn't think you had to. Definitely next week is going to be another early test for them. Y'all gonna have to excuse me. I got the hiccups. I just had all these wisdom teeth taken out, so the anesthesia is kind of wear off, as you can see. But defensively, though, I was happy. Didn't see anything that was just glaringly just apparent that needs to be fixed. Just got to be sharper. I think we just got to be sharper.
And I think the thing is the team looked really in sync in the first half. I think more so the second half was more of a struggle because it was going deeper into the depth chart. You were seeing more of the 3 deep players, even closer to 4, which to me was not bad. They looked like backups, but they were in a backup situation. So there was not so much I could get mad at them for. Everybody's still learning, but those starters look like starters. Like, us jumping out 21-0 so fast told me, these starters were ready for this game.
All right, well, let's move on to the offense. Offensively, what did you see?
So offensively, I'm just gonna say, oh God, y'all, we gave up 159 yards in this game. That was what I was looking for. I was looking for the stats to look at the exact number of what we gave up. We have 208 yards total in this game. 160 passing, 48 rushing. Sheesh. That is amazing. We gave up, we were 2-12 on third down, and we caused them to have 14 penalties. We played, and we had 36 minutes of possession, so we had the ball longer. Plus, we had 642 yards. Offensively, 642 yards. Dylan Gabriel looked sharp. He was on point. I say about 95% of his passes were right on the dot. He had a few errant ones, which every quarterback does. No one can be 100%. But dude looked sharp. 19 for 22, 308, 2 tutties. Dylan looked sharp. I say if there's going to be a concern, it might be the run game, but I'm not concerned about the run game. I felt like we were testing out everybody. We got 220 yards rushing in the game. I was hoping for 200-yard rushers, but we spread it out so much, we finished with 220 yards. So technically, we had 2 100-yard rushes in the game, if you really think about it.
My fault. I'm trying to get this the stats to actually pull up. There we go. Now we can get active. Yeah, no, exactly. I thought that, like I said, defensively, I thought you played really well. Like Monk said, I really liked how Pearson played too. Just kind of going to the offensive part, I would say just my only con was honestly Dylan Gabriel. I thought he kept on underthrowing guys. What were your thoughts about him and the rest of the offense?
Yeah, I mean, going deep, he did have a couple of underthrows. The good thing was those underthrows led to pass interferences. So it was more so he was getting it to the receiver, and the receiver was putting himself in a position to get a penalty. And that, to me, is a good sync between the quarterback and his wide receiver, understanding that there are limitations to their quarterback while knowing that, okay, because we know that he can't throw as far as we would want, but actually making it to where we get penalties instead of him looking like they're bad passes. Spot on. That's what you want out of your wide receiver court. Because if anything, if you're going to get dusted deep, most of the time the corners are going to go ahead and try to get the penalty anyway because they know it's only 15 yards instead of it being a 70-yard touchdown. Well, there was no one that was just wide open, but there was enough space to where it was caught. They're going to the house. DG put it in a good spot, and the receivers recognized that, oh, I'm going to help my quarterback. Let me get this penalty instead. I like that.
So Stephen G says one of the underthrows was a surprise go route. Can't blame him for that.
And Hank is spot on with this one. The guys can clearly outrun his arm. And I think they can outrun Jackson Arnold's too, just because our receivers are fast. Andrew Anthony, buy all the stock right now.
But that was
by Jaden Gibson.
I was going to say, yeah, and we'll get to him after this point. That was one of the things last year that was kind of frustrating for us. If you even go back to the TCU game last year, guys were running down the field wide open. You just had to find them. You had to be willing to actually throw, and so that wasn't happening. So, but hey,
he had no fear.
Yeah, he had no fear. Go ahead and talk about Jaden Gibson, what you saw from him today.
Oh, man, Gibson, y'all saw the catch. Y'all saw the 2 catches he got. He got the tutty. He also got that deep pass that was right where only he could catch it or it was going out of bounds. That is what I loved. I loved seeing that Dylan Gabriel was taking a chance with him and giving him the opportunity to go out there and make a play. Man, I am so happy for Jaden Gibson on that. And no, you're right. You're 100% right, Tristan. Jackson Arnold's arm is better. I bet you those receivers can outrun his arm too. And that's kind of my point. Those receivers are fast. Like we're seeing blazing. Jaquez Petaway's going to get some game with, unfortunately, Drake Stoops being down. I'm anticipating it's either, I think the reports were saying it's either a broken collarbone or clavicle or it's dislocated, and he'll be just kind of sidelined for a bit. But Gavin Freeman, yeah, he that dude. I see why BV was so high on him. I mean, he only had 4 catches for 19 yards in that tutty, but that punt return was stupid. 82 yards was right what you wanted, and he was just all over the place. He was someone that you had to account for, and that does nothing but help everybody else on the offensive side. Now, granted, everybody asked this question in here. Jalil Farouk, quiet. I get it. I totally get it. We didn't need him. We don't need to get the ball to him like that. It's literally a bunch of receivers that are making it happen. The routes are looking good. They're looking crisp. So like, I mean, I could go on and on. I'm trying to help Kchris out here because I know he got the hiccups. I don't want him to be hiccuping too much on it. But real talk, we've got the talent is there, man. It is showing.
I thought we looked great all over the field today. Wide receiver core was a little bit surprised about. Honestly, just seeing all those guys step up. I thought Petaway looked good in the times that he had. I thought your running back core looked surprisingly good as well. Not that you're surprised about a guy like Bournes or what you think Sawchuck can be, but Tawee Walker showed that he's serviceable, more than serviceable. Also, Majors was doing what Majors does. I was really excited about just some of the things that we saw for some of those younger guys, and just seeing us being able to play really well together. Offensive line, did you think that they could create some more holes out there, some bigger holes, or what did you see from them?
Man, they looked in sync to me. Like it looked like they were of course still trying to figure out the chemistry piece, because of course practice reps is so much different than game reps, and you could see that they had a good sync and they were pretty cohesive. They looked like a unit. Now, granted, we could probably get some more holes and be able to make some stuff happen on the run game, but I mean, you went out here and beat a team 7-3-0. That means that you did a lot of what you needed to do. We just didn't break out with a lot of deep runs, in which I anticipate more of that coming in the next game. I mean, the longest was Barnes at 16 yards and then a couple of 11s and some 10s. So we really didn't go to too many big run plays. But overall, the receiving, Nick Anderson in the 52-yarder, you had Andrew Anthony's 45, which that pass was amazing. And Steven, yes, Andrew Rain looked good. Savion Byrd looked good. We knew Walter Rouse was going to look like a monster. I'm kind of upset that Tyler Guyton got that penalty, but I'm okay. I'm not too mad at him. I mean, he's still a monster. He was still out there cooking, and all they were talking about him as being potentially a first-round pick, and we know it. So, yeah, everything we saw in this game, if there was, and I can't wait to do my morning after. I'm going to sleep on it. I'm going to keep studying, watch the game again. I'm going to sleep on it first thing in the morning. I'm going to drop my morning after. And I really feel like, man, once I really get some clarity after a good sleep on this one, we saw everything we needed to see out of this team in game one. This is what a game one is supposed to look like.
Excuse me.
And Hank's right.
I agree.
Hank made a good point.
I agree. What I was gonna say. Now, just going to the pros though about the offense and defense, man. 73 points. You can't ask for any more. A shutout. Granted, they had 2 duds on the by the kicker, Arkansas State's kicker. But as far as everything else, man, I mean, what can you ask for? 45 plus points in the first half. How many yards did they put up? Like 400 something in the first half.
Yeah. We walked out there and we was beating them. We beating them 45-0 to walk into halftime, and I'm just like, what I wanted was 21 points in the first quarter. 21 points in the first quarter was everything that I needed out of this Oklahoma offense. We're playing Arkansas State. There's no excuse to not do that. We got 28. So guess what? We got what I needed. They showed everything that I needed out of it. And then second half, Jackson Arnold walking in there, getting himself 2 touchdowns, a pass and a run, as well as going 11 for 114. Yeah, we got ourselves some legit football here, man. I am excited about because I knew the offense was going to do their thing. That wasn't my concern. Of all of us, it was all defense. We want to see if the defense is there. And so as long as we keep this positive momentum going into the Iowa State game, I say to next week's game against SMU will be a test, because SMU just beat the brakes off of Louisiana Tech. So they're walking in high too. We've got to go out there and we got to shut them down as well. If we can hold them to under 10 points, then I'm sold on the defense. If we give up between 10 and 28, I've got some concerns. I'll have to see what they look like in Big 12 play, especially against Cincinnati. But if we can hold SMU to under 10, yep, buy all the stock on this defense.
Yeah, I think that next week is going to be Get another good test. I think these next 2 games will be a good test. Kevin Wilson down there at Tulsa, he's a good play caller. Obviously, we know that
He is.
from his time here at OU. But as far as SMU is concerned, yeah, I think that our defense can get tested a little bit. But I think if we start early, start hot like we did, and be consistent. One other thing I would say as a pro about the offense is if we just step off the field and go to the coaching, man. I mean, they seem like they got it today, like they understood exactly what they were doing. We were moving really fast at times, and we paced the game. And I thought that was another good point of what we were doing. As far as as far as just seeing progression and growth from there. Are you still worried about about Venables calling too much of the defense?
No, not at all. Not at all. Let Lebby do his thing. Lebby is learning how to be a consistent play caller and game manager. Let Lebby learn. This was the best game for him to learn, and he did good. We were converting on third down, which, of course, as fans, our biggest complaint that one of our big complaints about Oklahoma was our conversions on third. We were 11 for 14 on third. We didn't punt the ball until the fourth, basically the 3 deep came in. What does that tell you? Tells me everything I need to know. We weren't punting. We were literally going out there, turning touchdowns, touchdown, field goal, touchdown. We had a touchdown on every possession except for the last one when we punted at the end of the game. Besides that, we literally scored on every single possession. That, my friends, is how you manage a team. And they're all deep runs. Like, besides the punt return, we had 5 plays for 70 yards to touchdown. So can't say anything about that in the first play. The next one, 3 minutes possession, 4-minute possession, 2-minute possession, 2-minute possession, 5-minute possession, 3-minute possession. So y'all know the trend. Y'all understand this trend, right? That was my complaint last year, was that we had way too many possessions under a minute and a half, and that's when you start to see stuff turn over too quick. No. We were extending them. We were doing what we were supposed to do, was getting third and short more often than we were third and long, and making it to where we can get those first downs. And then when we did have third and long, we were converting it on good, quick plays that got us there. We looked good. We looked like a team that was prepared. We also looked like this last year. So until we get past SMU and Tulsa, I'm still tapering my expectations. I'm still excited, though.
So I'm going to ask you this right here. Stephen G says it looked like a complete game. What, do you think that's correct, or are you?
I agree 100%. Wholeheartedly, I do. The defense, the question, if anything, is how many sacks can we get in a game? But against a team that literally catches it and throws it within like a second and a half, 2 seconds, yeah, it's really, really. I need to go look at the Pro Football Focus stats on that because I want to see how long he was holding the ball. But he didn't have the ball very long. It was literally snap and throw. So when you have a situation like that, it's really hard for a defensive line. A defensive lineman ain't getting in the backfield within 1 second. It's going to take 2.5 seconds. They need them to hold the ball for at least 3 seconds so they can go ahead and get that sack. And whenever we did force him to scramble, which JT Stroud can move, we contained the hell out of him.
Who's the quarterback for SMU next week?
I don't know SMU's QB. Let me look at their game that they just had because they had a really good game today. But let me go check it out. Let me pull him up real quick. Somebody knows it. Somebody's gonna probably pop it up in the chat in a second. So that's always a plus. But next week's game's a night game's at 5:00. Thank God. They won 38-14. By the way, SMU was out there cooking it, and it is Stone. Ooh, Preston Stone.
They started kind of slow out the gates, though.
Yeah, this is the second season at SMU as well. So Preston Stone went out there out of Dallas. He went out there and he threw for what did he throw in that game? He threw for 248, 3 touchdowns. LJ Johnson's going to be the question for us. That running back, 14 carries, 128 and a tutty. He's going to be the one that we're going to do a good scouting report on SMU getting ready for that game because he might be a force. He's the one that transferred in from Texas A&M.
Yeah. I thought Kamar Wheaton would get more. I thought Kamar Wheaton was their guy. To be honest with you,
shoot, LJ is good.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I thought Wheaton was going to get a little bit more PT, but no. LJ's legit.
Mm-hmm. So, let's take a break from OU real quick. Or you want to keep going?
Oh no, I'm good. I'm good on.
I was gonna say let's take a break from OU Ark State for a second. Let's see. What are your thoughts on TCU and Colorado, Jay?
So anybody that's on my channel, y'all understand why I was covering Colorado, right? Y'all now understand and get what I saw when I saw this team coming together. Now, granted, we can ask the question, is TCU just taking a bad step back, or is Colorado actually good? I'm going to do a morning after for Colorado as well, after I record the Oklahoma one. I think that Colorado's legit. I think that Colorado can make a bowl game. And they looked disciplined. You can see the coaches that he has on that staff actually are solid. Coach Prime can coach. And not only can he coach, he knows how to delegate properly. So, and as much as we talk about him being as flamboyant as he is and how much of a namesake he is, because, I mean, he is Deion Sanders. He's Neon Deion. The one thing that caught my eye about him, and this is the reason why I started talking about him so much, is the staff he put around him makes me look like he put his ego back on the coaching side. I mean, when you bring in the type of coaches that he brought in, like I said, from Sean Lewis to having Mike Zimmer as well as Pat Shurmur as analysts on your offense and defensive sides, you're expecting people to tell you that you're wrong. You're expecting people to say, hey, that's not a good idea, or hey, that's a good idea. You're looking at people to tell you that, and you're listening to them. You know what I'm saying? That, to me, is what it looked like. So, Shedeur Sanders looked like a 4-star quarterback coming into college. He played, of course, a year or so at Jackson State. Everybody had their questions about him. He walked up there and looked like a D1 quarterback. He was out there cooking. He looked like a
damn
D1.
good.
He looked good. He looked so good. And he's one of those players that you will hear me defend nonstop. Because I've tried to explain to folks, man, yes, I would like to say, as much as I would like to, Shedeur was 38 for 47, 510 yards and 4 touchdowns. Averaging 10 yards a play. 10. Averaging 10 yards a pass. Yeah.
They had no answer for him, and they had no answer for Travis Hunter either.
Nope.
Both of those guys. It's surprising. Now, Shedeur, I can understand people saying this, but Travis Hunter, people saying that, oh, well, they played at an HBCU. It's gonna be hard to transition to this level. The kid was the number one player coming out of high school for a reason.
Thank you.
For a reason.
Chris, let's add to that. Travis Hunter played both sides of the ball. He had an interception and 100 yards receiving and a touchdown. Are we going to question Travis Hunter now? He had 11 receptions for 119 yards, and he had 3 tackles and an interception. People, what can we say? He had 111 catches for 119 yards, and his touchdown was called back. And then he had an interception. People, Travis Hunter is him. He is legit. And Shedeur Sanders, 510 yards in his debut on the D1 stage. He walked there, big noon kickoff. All of Fox is in town. He walked out there and said, yep, give it to me. Shiloh, 10 tackles. Sanders boys. Miles Slusher went out there with 6 tackles. Looking. Man, the thing that scares me about them is that Colorado's defense is going to be suspect. The thing that helps them is that they can go into shootouts and win games. We proved it against TCU. They can go in shootouts, and they can win a shootout. Shedeur showed you. It's done. Period. TCU still has a good defense. It's done. He can do it.
Jay, I don't know about that. I asked the chat, what do you guys think about this TCU defense? I'd know. No.
Hank, tell him. 9 incomplete passes. I mean, TCU was still rated high on their defense. I think Chandler Morris is not very good, though. I've said that. That's why he lost the job to Max Duggins.
He made some really bad reads. They were running a lot of bunch sets, and he was making the wrong read.
Yeah,
you can't throw that in Travis Hunter's direction because he's jumping those routes. And he did it every time, and you didn't make him pay for it.
Exactly. And he got it. Run another player who somebody mentioned in the chat. Shout out to I don't know who mentioned it, but I'm gonna find it real quick. I know I saw it in here. Dylan Edwards, freshman, 5 catches, 135 yards, 6 carries, 24 yards, and a touchdown. Dylan Edwards is a problem.
And that's what I'm trying to say.
Yes, Steven, that's what it is. Edwards is a problem.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say is that, you're saying TCU's defense still look good. And I'm like, hey, man, TCU's defense was getting beat on a bunch of just swing routes, swing passes.
I didn't say they looked good. I said they were rated good.
Oh, okay.
They were rated good coming into this season. They were rated still highly because they still got some seniors on that defense. But no, they're not a good defense. Well, at least in this game. But I'll tell you this, though. Colorado's defense is questionable still. Yeah, I mean, as much as I love Travis Hunter playing both sides of the ball, they're still questionable. The question's going to be is, will their offense maintain the ability to keep on shootouts? And I think they are. I think they're built for shootouts. That's what I'm sold on when it comes to Colorado and the way their defense plays. Yeah. Shootouts. They'll be able to participate in shootouts. Oh, man, I can't wait to talk about them.
Do you think they get the win against Nebraska next week?
Oh, yeah. They're going to tear up Nebraska. Nebraska's cursed. Didn't y'all just see Nebraska lose to Minnesota on a game-winning field goal, which is like...
I think it's because...
Is that you who sent that in the SEC Connect group chat? When you talk about Nebraska in every year's span losing games or something like that?
That was you.
No, it wasn't me. Let me see who sent that. It might have been me. It might have been me laughing at that. Oh, it was me. Yeah, it was me. Since 1900, the Huskers now hold the record for the most one-possession losses in a 1-year span, 2-year span, 3-year span, 4-year span, 5-year span, 6-year span, 7-year span, 8-year span, 9-year span, 10-year span. I just say, dog, they cursed. They're cursed because they left the Big 12. They should have never left. And I think they deserve all of the pain that they're receiving. Shouldn't have broke up the conference, man. It's y'all's fault.
Right. Well,
y'all the reason why we're here.
Shouts out to Dion, man, for going down there. Coach Prime for going out there, getting that win. He said we coming, and so hey, this was a definitely eye opener, and they came out there and they proved everybody wrong. Now, I will say, if you go to the chat, go to the SEC Connect chat, you will see I did pick that upset. I did pick.
Yeah, I'm with you. I picked Colorado to pick this win too. So yeah, we're on that one. I'm looking at this Texas one real quick. Before
I was about to say Texas. What? Hold on. Let's go to the chat. Everybody, put in your thoughts about Texas right now. Go ahead.
Yeah, throw in your Texas thoughts.
I'll let you start with what you're seeing from Texas right now.
They look pedestrian. This doesn't look good for them. They've got 2 field goals in the second quarter and a touchdown. They're playing Rice. JT Daniels, I want you guys to listen to me clearly before we roll out. And I love y'all. All these people in here, a lot of y'all are on my channel too, so y'all know what I'm going to say. You got to be careful with the stars. JT Daniels was a 5-star quarterback, and he looks awful. 6 for 14, 66 yards, 2 interceptions. He looks god awful. Right?
Yeah, I was expecting more. He was the one that I said he would be a good test for this Texas defense, at least at secondary, because he can sling that ball around. But I haven't really seen too much from him. I mean, it's
just saying, man. Just saying. I've got my my couches put together. Me and the wife put that together. I'm gonna be sitting on it now for the rest of the day. I'm gonna have my group chat. I'm gonna be in the Discord talking the rest of these games. We're gonna have fun because we're in a good position for the rest of the day. I'm happy. I'm about to drink some more of this Sooner Ale. I got a case of these. I'm about to go kill some more. You can't drink, Chris, so you're not in a position for drinking for the next couple of days until you
but I sound good for getting 3 wisdom teeth taken out, man. No,
you do. Besides the hiccups, man, you sound fantastic.
This hiccups is just something that's taking on a life of itself. I don't know where this is coming from, but
it hates you. That's all it is. But it's okay. But hey, remember, in BV we trust. Got my pink BV shirt on to show in solitude with the missus. You know, with Mrs. Venables and her breast cancer battle. You know, we got the pink on. So make sure y'all celebrate, show some love, go have some fun.
Hold on. Stubby says Ohio State looks like my last date. Stubby,
that doesn't sound good. And Ohio State's looking bad. 7-3 against Indiana. Well, they're playing a conference game.
I figured this game was gonna be be close because Indiana always tries to play a close game against them, and then 2, I feel like a lot of people are it's just too much chatter going on. And I think it's gotten to Kyle McCord. Kyle McCord just needs to go and play free. But
I mean, he's 10 for 15, 94 yards. He's not bad. It's just that one interception's ugly, and he lost Marvin Harrison. So now we got to see if he's actually who he is.
Yeah. So
that's the question. Can he be that?
With that being said, guys, thank you so much for bearing with me throughout these hiccups. Like I said, next week on Thursday or so, when we do another episode of the Horns Down podcast, it'll be better. We won't have these hiccups. But that being said, Jay, go ahead and tell everybody where they can find you at.
You know where to find me? Unfair Sports. We'll be going live on Sunday, of course, 6 p.m. Central Time. The link will be up very soon. Make sure y'all pull up sooner than Texas. I appreciate you saying that because that's hilarious. Horns down as always. I'm gonna go turn on that Texas game now. I'm gonna rewatch the Oklahoma game on another screen. We're gonna evaluate this to the brim, and enjoy yourself. So, Chris, man, take care of yourself. Get some rest. If you're feeling good, you can pull up on potentially Sunday. Actually, I think we're gonna have a special guest on there too from one of the new media groups that just got created in Oklahoma City. I'm gonna confirm that, but I think we're gonna have a special guest on the channel as well. Coop has been putting in work.
Well, let's he said Jay go live so now so we can talk shit about Texas. All right. Well, another episode of the Horns Down podcast with your host Kchris with a K. Definitely follow us, like, subscribe, share, do all of that. Thanks for the love, y'all. And we are out of here.